Last week on Follow the Star, I took on a road journey to explore the western coast of India. Starting at the picturesque town of Malvan, I ventured deep into Maharashtra, visiting offbeat places like Parole and Savantwadi, before ending my day at the beautiful city of Panjim in Goa. Welcome to Follow the Star. This week, I cover the concluding part of my journey through India's Konkan coast. I'm all set to leave the comforts of Goa behind and travel through the untouched coastline of Karnataka. But before I head out, I have a little meeting to check off my list. For most part of my journey, I've driven on the National Highway 17, which plays a vital role in connecting interior towns of the coast with the rest of the country. This week, I'm driving the muscular GL350. This square-shouldered beauty seems like a dream to drive, and I can't wait to glide it down the Konkan coast. Goa, India's most sought-after travel destination, is frequented by tourists who come here to soak up the sun and relax by the beach. I decided to flip the coin and experience the old-world charm of Goa instead. Fountain House, an old Latin quarter, sits in the capital city of Panjim and offers a completely different atmosphere from the hustle-bustle of the main city. Old villas, narrow lanes, overhanging balconies, tile roofs and brightly painted houses instantly transport you to the 18th century when this locality was built. A visit to Fountain House will surely have you contemplate why most tourists visit Goa only for its beaches. After a laid-back start to my day at the Latin quarters, I finally managed to get back on the road and head off to a village called Kolvale in North Goa. My visit to the state would be incomplete if I didn't catch up with India's most well-known designer and, more importantly, a die-hard Goan, Wendell Rodricks. One of India's leading fashion designers, Wendell's signature style blends ancient history geometry with a relaxed Goan attitude. From dishing out creative collections to styling for international campaigns, Wendell does it all from his beautiful home in Goa, where he moved in the 90s. He also has a few books to his kitty and was awarded the Padma Shri earlier this year. Wendell, thank you so much for having me in this beautiful home of yours. I would never get to see it if you didn't let me in.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
So I really want to know what made you decide to just live in Goa and not move anywhere else?
For the longest time I can remember, we used to come to Goa for a holiday. And I remember my parents and my aunts and everyone saying, since they were kind of migrants that went to Bombay for work, they used to always say, when we retire, we'll move to Goa. After I lived in the Middle East and later on in the US, in Los Angeles and in Paris, it was in Paris that I realized that, you know, one could, I kept meeting professionals that were kind of coming to Paris just for the work but living in the countryside. And I said, this is a wonderful way to live, maybe I should do the same in Goa. So it was there at the back of my mind.
That you don't have to be in the particular city where work is to be able to still do well.
Especially not with clothing. I mean, I just need to show my face on ramp for, you know,
Fashion Week or a fashion show.
Week, yeah, in Delhi or Bombay, and that's fine as long as they get the clothes on time. So I said I would do it, but I didn't know how it was going to happen. I dreamt one day when I was in the Middle East, I dreamt I was walking in this lovely house, the Braganza house. And
so this was a Braganza house?
Yes, it belonged to a family called the Braganzas, and it was known in the entire village as the best house in the village. They called it Casa Donna Maria, after the grandmother of the old lady, her mother-in-law actually. And that dream was so eerie because do you know, normally when you wake up, you tend to forget a dream.
Yeah.
This kind of stayed with me. I mean, and stayed with me strangely because as a child, the walls are so high that as a child, one could never look over the wall, and I never knew what the house looked like.
So you had never been to the house
I
before?
had never been to the house before. But in my dream, I was walking in the house and everything was clear. From the chandeliers to the tables to the paintings, and this was like bizarre. And my mother met Mrs. Braganza and said, you know, my son dreamt of your house. And she said, when he comes down on leave from Oman, I'd like to meet him. Well, I did meet her. I walked in, and then instead of going through that door, which anybody would, I said, no, the hall is upstairs on the right. And I went right, and that was her first shock. And then things kept popping in my head. I knew that her husband lived in the room on top. And I said, your husband lived here. By then, she was completely spooked, and we realized that I might have had a kind of a reincarnation connection with this big fat house. 7 years later, I get a call from her daughter saying that Mommy said to sell the house only to you because we are taking her to live with us in the UK. I moved in 2 weeks and I inherited this lovely house.
So basically everything was like a divine connect for you at that point.
It was. I mean, I'm not a religious person, though I'm definitely spiritual, and I definitely have a sixth sense.
Oh, you do?
It's been with me since childhood.
I think after that dream, I'm sure I believe you have a sixth sense.
It helps me in fashion, I'll tell you. It really works in fashion.
Of course, if you can see the future,
because I can see the future trend.
then you can easily make your clothes, and probably that's why you're so amazing at your work. But you think Goa or this home or everything around you here has influenced your designs?
Most definitely. When I was in Bombay and I was already famous, I was still searching for a style. But when I came to live here, being so close to nature, we began to weave, you know, pineapple fiber with silk and banana with cotton. This whole eco thing, which the words were not coined at that time in India in '93. Nobody knew the word minimalism, nobody knew the word resort wear, and definitely not eco-friendly. And we did it all at that time because Goa gave it to me. I said, you know, how do I...
And I know for a fact resort wear now is inspired completely by you.
Yeah, I mean, at that stage, nobody put like a beaded bikini as a choli with a sari, you know. It was when we put it on, you know, Malaika, everyone said, wow, I want that choli, it looks so sexy. Goa gave me all of that. I wanted something very, very difficult to do. I wanted the people, when they wore the clothes, to be so light and to be so fluid and so dreamy that if
So
they close,
wearable.
and if they close their eyes in New York or in Bombay or Delhi, they would think of Goa.
Thank you so much for sharing all these things with us, which no one really knows. Wendell has impeccable extrasensory perception, no doubt. I wish I could literally pick my dream home in my dream and then have it turned into reality. But again, you never know. I might just stumble upon an exquisite sight on the road and call the shots. My wishful thinking aside, today I drive further south from Goa and explore the Kannada coast of Karnataka all the way to my final destination, Gokarna. The National Highway 17 continues to accompany me right up to Gokarna. So I'm bypassing Madgaon right now and I'm taking a left onto the NH17, which will take me straight to Gokarna. I usually avoid taking bypass roads as they overlook experiences that towns and cities offer. But this particular bypass road retains the quintessential Goan feel, which I like. The best thing about this drive is you get to cross really quaint and picturesque Goan villages. So I'm crossing through a forest area right now and I can see the difference in terrain. I've just crossed Goa and have been welcomed into Karnataka with this stunning view. This is the Kali Bridge and it's here that the NH17 cuts across the Sadashivgarh rock hill that connects the two states. This place is stunning and that's the perk of all road journeys. When you're stuck in a train or bus, you have to go a certain direction. The freedom of having a car is you can halt wherever you want and get more time to yourself. Coming up on Follow the Star, I break bread at a popular restaurant in Karwar before chatting up some interesting travellers in Gokarna. I'm halfway through my journey to the temple town of Gokarna, and I have just crossed over from Goa into the neighbouring state of Karnataka. I'm at this coastal town called Karwar and I'm pretty hungry. Luckily for me, the advantage of coastal routes is you can break for lunch anywhere without a second thought. So I've just stopped at the Amrit restaurant in Karwar. This place is really famous amongst the locals here. More so, a lot of actors, cricketers, celebrities swear by the food here. I am going to treat myself to some authentic Karwar seafood. Seafood's always been my favorite and I'm really hungry, so this couldn't be more perfect for me. Ask any of the locals about the best place to eat and they'll instantly guide you to Hotel Amrit on the Karwar main road. Known for its exquisite range of seafood, the tradition at this hotel is supposed to be as old as Karwar itself. The cherry on the cake is their friendly staff and rock-bottom prices. So I've got the red snapper here, which is really famous apparently. I can't wait to taste that. Fish fry, fish curry rice, mussels, oysters, butter garlic prawns. What more could I ask for where seafood is concerned? I have it all. And I'm going to dig right in. That's some really amazing butter garlic prawns. I have tried the butter garlic preparation elsewhere, but I can taste this amazing tasting ghee which seems to be mixed in it. I think that's what makes it different and so famous. Karwar has been recognized as a sheltered harbour and the East India Company built fighting ships here. Fort Sadashivgarh, named after the Kelari warrior king Sadashiv Naika, is another major attraction of this place. My mount for the week, the GL350, has proved to be a trusted companion. The car easily reaches triple-digit speeds and can be maxed up to 217 km per hour. And this isn't just the highway performance. Even in the city, the car can be maneuvered rather briskly. I'm just about 10 kilometers away from Gokarna and it's time to get off the NH17 and take the Gokarna-Kurle road to enter the main town. The distance between Goa and Gokarna is not more than 150 kilometers, but it still takes you more than 3 hours to reach. This is primarily because most of it is a two-lane highway and you're driving through narrow roads, and sometimes you don't even feel like you're driving on a national highway. Away from the crowded beaches and hustle of Goa is Gokarna, a small seaside town that makes for an ideal offbeat beach destination. A major pilgrimage centre with Dravidian-style temples, Gokarna is now catching on with travellers who come here in search of spirituality. Now that I'm here, I decide to meet Vijaya, one such traveller from Russia who visited Gokarna 4 years ago and hasn't headed back since. She now spends most of her time teaching yoga and Kathak. I think I made it right on time for her Kathak class. This is really not what I had expected, and it might not be the authentic style of Kathak, but it's pretty amazing to see the effort they're putting into the class. Vijaya seems really enthusiastic. After the Kathak class, I managed to have a quick chat with Vijaya. So I have Vijaya with me, who's a Kathak dancer and lives in Gokarna. Tell me, Vijaya, when did you move to India, to Gokarna?
To Gokarna. Firstly, I came to India in 2010 together with my Guruji, Hashmat Khan, my tabla teacher, for practice in Kathak Kendra and for concert together. And we're traveling together with him and make concert in Rishikesh, Haridwar and many places. And one day I came to Gokarna and I was very happy of this place because it's a special place, exactly a special place, very holy place. So I live in this life long time already, long time, because I started to interesting of yoga and Indian music, classical Indian music, maybe more than 20 years before. In Soviet Union, that time wasn't possible to find some material or some information about yoga or Kathak, of course. And just in 1989, in Moscow was opening Indian Culture Center of Jawaharlal Nehru of Indian Embassy in Moscow. They gave people the best chance, study free, Kathak dance, yoga, tabla, and Hindi. So maybe 7 years I study in this place and have part in all programs of Kathak dance together with my Guruji, Parvin Gangani and Harish Gangani, Hashmat Khan, and many other.
So how many years exactly has it been since you've been practicing Kathak?
More than 12 years.
More than 12 years.
14 years already I practice Kathak.
Yes, because Kathak is a form of dance which is very difficult.
It's very difficult,
And
yes.
for you to
But
move to
it's
India
so
and become a teacher is incredible. So thank you so much. That was a very nice, interesting conversation with you. Gokarna is home to some of India's most secluded and pristine beaches. Among the 4 great beaches in town, I head to Om Beach, the only beach that can be accessed by car. Om Beach is the most popular of Gokarna's beaches and traces the shape of the Hindu symbol Om. The beach is extremely clean and offers stunning views. One must really visit this place to experience the beauty for themselves. When you think of the western coast of India, people mostly associate it with places like Mumbai and Goa. But right here, barely 200 kilometers away from Goa, is something as beautiful as this. Through my journey, I've experienced different lifestyles, varied languages and different cuisine. But 2 things have remained constant: the NH17 and the Arabian Sea. Couldn't think of a better way to end my journey. Just as the sun went down and seamlessly merged into the crystal clear waters of the Arabian Sea, my journey too had come to an end. The Konkan coast of India is a hidden gem waiting to be discovered. The state of roads and highways in this particular stretch was beautiful, with the sea running parallel to the highway. But what I enjoyed the most about my journey was the sheer privacy of it. There were times when I got to meet some incredible people and times when it was just me, my confidant on wheels, the GL350 and nature. As they say, some journeys are best enjoyed in solitude. Next week on Follow the Star, I take you on a journey through one of India's busiest highways, the Mumbai-Pune Expressway. have some really amazing butter garlic prawns.